Hi, my name is Ghoulie, and I'm here to talk to you about Beacon Pines. Originally released on September 22nd, 2022, and developed by Hiding Spot, Beacon Pines is a creepy and cute visual novel available on PC, Switch, and Xbox One via Game Pass. You play as Luca, who is ready to start summer vacation with his best friend Rollo. But as the two boys get into mischief, they find more than they thought they would, and now lives are on the line, especially their own. Help the narrator find the perfect ending to her story. Make new friends, uncover the truth, and collect charms that will change Luca's fate, as well as the fate of everyone in Beacon Pines. Or die trying. If this is the first review of mine you're watching, know my reviews tend to be more positive as I only review games I've enjoyed, regardless of any criticism I do have. I also try to be as spoiler-free as possible, and unless it's a farming sim, I've played the game to its completion. If you ever want to see me play games in real time, I stream over on Twitch a few days a week. So, let's jump in! Starting off with the story. The story of Beacon Pines is gripping and full of twists and turns. We're not going too deep into the story as I don't want to spoil things for you, but the game starts off with Luca visiting his father's grave. You find out that not only did his father die 6 years ago under mysterious circumstances, but Luca's mother has also been missing for the last 7 months. His maternal grandmother, whom Luca hardly knew, moved in to take care of her grandson as he had no other family left. Despite all of this, Luca tries to be social and adventurous. He and Rollo decide to start off their summer investigating the supposedly abandoned fertilizer plant. But they'll quickly find out that not everything is as it seems. Between strange green ooze and people in hazmat suits, Luca and Rollo will find more than they bargained for, and it may cost their very lives. But never fear, Beacon Pines has a unique game mechanic known as the Chronicle, a story tree that branches out with your choices. As you collect more charms, you'll have more dialogue options to open up a new path. You can hop in between different versions of the story to reveal the truth within Beacon Pines. Despite these word choices and branching paths, the game is still pretty linear. Beacon Pines has a story to tell, and while you will find different endings, there's only one true ending to close the book. This isn't a complaint of mine per se. I've played several visual novels that did not have multiple endings, but someone might expect it here and be disappointed. I personally don't think a true ending takes away from the concept of branching paths or the gimmick of hopping in between different plot points. You learn more and more about the lore of Beacon Pines through each ending, and for continuity, you and the narrator retain that new knowledge, whereas Luca and his friends do not. Now, let's get into the characters. I absolutely adore the characters in Beacon Pines. They are full of personality and their designs reflect that. From Rollo in his dirty overalls to Harris's prim and proper suit, you can get a vibe of what they're like as a person. Everyone has a little bit of a voice akin to Animal Crossing's Animalese. They're all different and fitting to their character. Some sound gruffer, while others are more squeaky. What I like about the characters is that they're all likable and complex. Luca, while mourning the loss of his father and his mother's disappearance, tries to be positive and hopeful throughout all of it. Rollo, while appearing to be a big goofball, is insightful and treats Luca as he always has despite the severe life changes. Beck, while seeming cool and collected, is upset at the constant moving and the inability to keep friends. And Iggy, while being a giant bully to the other children, is envious of Luca and only wants to be invited to the cool treehouse Luca and Rollo built. Even the side characters who don't have portraits have important things to say. You have Miss Hatch, an alligator reading by the fountain who serves as foreshadowing for what is about to happen or what is currently happening. Then you have Joey, who is found lamenting that he can't find any bugs, and it feels like Beacon Pines is void of them. And Jetson, who spends his time fishing, but can't remember the last time he caught anything. Little hints to the bigger picture. I would also be remiss if I didn't bring up probably the most important character of the game, the narrator.
Allow me to introduce you to my book. Though it might at first appear like many books you've come across, it is far from ordinary.
She simply starts off reading the charm choice pages, exposition, and the tutorial sections. She is eager for you to finish her story, but as you run into dead end after dead end, the narrator becomes exasperated and upset, desperate to find the right ending to her story.
No, that can't be the ending. It simply can't. I won't accept it, and I hope you won't either. There are more endings, more possibilities. I can feel it. We are just going to have to sort through them all until we find the one that fits.
She remains determined, however, to keep going, all with your help. And as you do, she earnestly thanks you. Now, those are the characters. Let's check out the graphics of Beacon Pines. Okay, real talk, Beacon Pines has peak design choices. The back and forth between the 3D book and the 2D story solidifies the immersion of you reading a book in a room. And at the end of the game, you blow out the candle. Chef's kiss. The chapter select art is also pretty cute, with line art of what is going on and the pages flipping to that selected chapter. It just adds further to a sense of immersion. The art style doesn't disappoint either. The settings look like they were pulled from a children's book. You can spot the blending of colors, the brush strokes, the pencil lines. It's so pretty to look at. I really like the negative space around each setting, really hammers home the storybook aesthetic. And when you select a dialogue choice, the camera zooms in with the background expanding around the setting. It's fluff, but it's nice looking fluff. The character portraits also don't disappoint. They look like they belong in the world while still standing out. As mentioned in earlier sections, the designs reflect who the characters are, or their appearance is a front to hide who they really are. I also really like the running animation. They just look so cute! A nice little detail they added but didn't have to is that Luca walks inside buildings as opposed to running while outside. There are only like 3 buildings that you walk around in, so it's just a cute detail I liked. Now, let's check out the audio. The music of Beacon Pines is pretty nice to listen to. None of them overpower the game and only serve to add more atmosphere. The music shifts well in tone to match the scene, from whimsical to tense to melancholy. The game also utilizes a lack of music in certain scenes as a break between the whimsical and the tense, as if a subtle hint to the player that something is going to happen. Sound effects are also utilized really well, just small things like the sound of tin when you pick up a can, the tippy-tappy of footsteps, the slapping of this watermelon. As mentioned earlier, the characters also have voices akin to Animal Crossing's Animalese. They're pretty fitting to the characters. Although they're not real voices, they definitely add more to the otherwise silent dialogue. The narrator is the only fully voiced character in the game. The voice acting is pretty good and overall a pleasant voice. I think some more audio editing could be had, like where the P's tend to pop more, but other than that, I liked it.
The fence thrummed with a gentle electric buzz. Luca often asked himself what Rollo would do, so that he could rule out that option.
Let's talk about the gameplay. Beacon Pines is a mystery visual novel. You walk around, talk to people, and make choices. What makes Beacon Pines unique is that not all the choices are available to you at the start. There is an early example of this. At the start of the game, Luca and Rollo decide to check out the old fertilizer plant. On the way there, you run into Rollo's older sister Roxy, your first story-changing dialogue option. But with only one option, Rollo is forced to go back with Roxy to finish his chores. Luca goes to the plant alone and never comes back home. But you gained a new charm, so when you go back to the interaction with Roxy, that new word allows Luca to get past her and have Rollo with him as they go to the old plant. Just by having Luca's best friend there, the story changes completely. The branching paths change dramatically depending on the choices you make. Sometimes you'll get further into the chapters and other times it's game over. But never fret, as you can always go back to the Chronicle and select a different path to try should you have more charms. You can find new charms through dialogue with NPCs, checking out the surroundings, and going through the motions of the story. Talk to everyone and click on everything you can. Not every charm leads to a new dialogue choice. Some are used solely to obtain achievements, most notably the Agile Angler achievement. The Chronicle is a game mechanic I've never seen before in visual novels. If you know some of other games with a similar mechanic, please let me know down below. I think it adds something refreshing to an otherwise tried and true game genre. Now, let's wrap things up. Beacon Pines is a beautiful game with a worthwhile mystery and engaging gameplay. The story and the characters are solid, the art is beautiful, audio quality is good, and the Chronicle adds a unique and interesting mechanic to the visual novel genre. I played this game twice, back in 2022 when it first came out, and again in 2024, and I enjoyed it both times. I can't recommend it enough. It took me about 8 hours to play through the entirety of the game and get all of the achievements, so while the game is on the shorter side, it makes up for it with its beautiful art and a fun time. As of this recording, the game is available on Steam for $19.99. It is also free with the Xbox Game Pass. If you're in the mood for a cozy, suspenseful experience, Beacon Pines is for you. The Steam link will be available in the description below. That's all from me today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as a way of helping my channel. I hope you have a good day, good night, good morning, whatever time it is there, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!